Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my very first session of hosting in the Burg. For anyone wondering, my levels are somewhere between 120 and 125, because I didn't have the pyromancy that I actually wanted to use, so I'm using the Great Fireball instead, and this is on the Xbox 360, so the Burg is filled with interesting characters at the best of times, and one of them is this dude right now. So anybody that's watched the... Every so often I'll put up an uncommentated fight for Dark Souls PvP. And the reason I do them is it's generally really late at night, so I can't do the commentary for domestic reasons. And also, they're generally quite quick, so I can edit them really fast, I can upload them even faster, and I can get a quick video off of something that happened recently. Because a lot of the quick clips are generally from the same night they go up. And you've already seen me fight this guy. This guy's called the Angel Creator, and I would class him as a really good PvP player. And some people might watch this and go, well, you know, he did this, he did that, he's not a good player, and that's not what I meant. I'm not talking skill-wise, because I don't actually know the full extent of this guy's skill, because he's using a roleplay build. But I'll tell you one thing, folks, if you run into somebody who's using a roleplay build, you can pretty much bet your money that if they had their tryhard build on, they would fucking kick your ass, or give you one of the best fights you've ever had. And this dude is roleplaying as a Dark Wraith. He's using the Dark Moonblade, which is an interesting addition, but I know why he's doing it, and that's because the Dark Sword is very weak. Even with scaling, it's still pretty weak of a sword, and he's at a disadvantage. But we fought each other quite a lot this night. I think we fought each other 5 or 6 times, and the main reason for that is he was putting his soap sign down, and it was pretty much the only one I could see reliably. But there goes the deal with that guy. Awesome fight, man. And here is a spellcaster. And this is kind of strange, this, guys, because this is a new character. I created it using both the bottomless box and the dragon head glitch, so I could do some quick PvP. And I had not killed any NPCs. I had not, you know, pissed off the Dark Moons for any real reason. I'd not even been indicted, and yet I was getting Dark Mooners up my ass all night. And like, we're going to watch these videos together, because this is pretty much every fight I had in the session, and I think it was about a 2-hour session I had. I don't think I got indicted. I might have got indicted once, but yeah, Dark Mooners were invading frequently, so that's not a bad thing. It's just, chances are, between a Dark Wraith and a Dark Moon, the Dark Moons are the bigger dicks, and I don't know why. And it must have something to do with the fact that they can invade down, and they can invade down indefinitely, so, you know, it might attract, you know, those power-hungry people that enjoy being 500 levels higher than you, but this is like a battle sorcerer. He's using quite a lot of spells. He's trying to poke me with, I think it's a rapier, I can't quite tell. It's I'm so used to not seeing colours on the characters because I'm used to being the invader, but this build is pretty much my build, I would say. There's a couple of areas that I want to tweak. Ooh, I get the parry. I don't get the riposte. I was a little late on it because I rolled away. But it's all cool. He brings out another Crystal Soul Mass. He starts poking, following it up. After the patch, the Crystal Soul Mass is going to be really legitimate, because on console it's kind of broken and stupid, but if you're close enough it can kill you because it does a lot of damage. But the patch has actually fixed it so that it doesn't go haywire, and that could be really interesting as this guy tries to do the fancy rapier poke, and I pull the scythe out, try and get a quick single-handed strong attack. I flash a couple of combustions his way, but he evades them with the iframes of the roll. Kind of at a standpoint right now, neither of us doing too much damage. I'm doing more damage to myself with my sword than I am to him, because such is the nature of the Chaos Blade. But, you know, he's circling, he's getting in close. Right there, I probably could have gone for the backstab, but one thing I will say is when I'm in a fight, especially in the Burg, I try to not backstab if I can help it. If somebody's being cheap, or if somebody's tried to gank, or, you know, cheap-shotted, then that's a completely different story. I will backstab those people for days, but as it stands, I don't want to be known for going for backstabs, and it's not because I have something against them. I do believe there is skill involved in backstabbing, but I think it gives your opponent an excuse to say all you did was backstab me, and when I win, I want them to be able to, you know, admit that irony exists when I say a sentence and don't finish it quick enough. That was a punished backstab though, so that's perfectly fine. there is the obligatory bow, and this is a housewife with a life hunt scythe. And I am pretty terrified by the scythes, and it's one of the reasons I use it, because the scythe is fantastic. It is such a strong weapon, but when people use it against me, I'm not too sure how to defend, because I don't fight it often. But the cool thing about using a scythe and fighting one is you know exactly what your opponent's going to do, because you already know the best strategy with a scythe. And I go for the parry there expecting him to do the run attack, but he does the run attack much slower. Right there is a dead angle. I don't know if he unlocked or what, but he gets me good. Luckily enough, I use scythes too, bro, so I'm not too bad. The red tier stone aids me with some massive damage and 2 clips, and this fight is over. But fun fight, dude. Interesting build as far as generic, but some people probably think my build's generic, even though I've tried to make him look stylish. When the DLC drops for consoles, I will not be wearing Havels on the leggings. I will be wearing the Siren armor, because those boots are amazing, and the only people that don't like them are people that have something against David Bowie. But this is another mage sorcerer character. This time he's maining the Moonlight Greatsword, and this is one of those fights, if it's the one I think it is, that I kind of regret. Because look, he's using a slow roll, so you've got to give him man points, and he's using his build really well, but I should punish his casts, and I don't, and because of it, I think I get punished myself, as I do the jumping attack, but he blocks. He does the power attack, another move I need to get better at punishing faster. I wing a blind parry, but it doesn't do anything. You'll notice he's wearing the wolf ring for extra poise. Not too sure why, although his armor does look quite light, but you can't really tell when they're a phantom, as I roll through and break his poise slash stability. Then he starts mashing, and I don't get caught, do I? There's nothing worse than getting mashed down. So because he has such a tendency to mash, I should really try and set up parry him, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I think I thought I had the scythe just then, and I didn't. I had the Chaos Blade, so that was embarrassing. But good fight, man. You beat me fair and square, and I believe this is a rematch. It looks that way. Which is the coolest thing about the red soapstones, signs, and fighting in a place like the Burg. A lot of the players like this that come to PvP, you'll have a couple of fights with them, so it then goes from being this one-off invasion to this almost a mental battle of what the player's going to do, because they learn how you fight, you learn how they fight, and it's more of a chess match than anything, because it gets to the point where you think, what shall I do that he's not expecting me to do, like kicks and certain things like that. And I'm always tempted to mix up my weapons, but what I want to try to get into the habit of doing is commit to a weapon per session. And I know I show a lot of katana and I show a lot of great scythe, so people that don't like these weapons are probably hating me for that. Oh, the red tier stone finishes him off, but I still have to dodge because it could kill me after death. But nice rematch, dude. Most recently become aware that some people really dislike the red tier stone. I personally think it makes the fights really exciting. Look at my Estus flask. How pathetic is that? Yeah, this character has not done any Firekeeper souls whatsoever, because he hasn't even gone past the undead Burg. But this is a Dark Moon, and you know when I said the Dark Moons are generally dicks? This guy's a dick. So he's using is it a giant machete, and he's just tranquil walked me, and he tries to mash me down, and luckily enough, I'm pretty good at setup parrying the slower weapons, so I get the parry on that and the riposte, and then I try to wake up combustion him, but I think I'm a little too slow, and this happens. Yeah, Hornet Ring backstab. This guy's running every single possible cheap combination on this build, and then he points me down as if he just did, you know, like he just rinsed a fucking symphony, and I don't get that at all. But this is another guy wearing Dark Wraith armor. This dude has got a bleed build. You'll notice he's using the blood shield and the life hunt scythe, and he's fishing for backstabs a little bit with the looks of that just then. And yeah, look at him go. And I could so punish his backstabs here, but I'm not doing it. And is this guy going to gank me, or is he going to wait his turn? We'll soon find out. It looks like he's waiting his turn, which is really cool. So I think this guy's a new player, because he's using the Scythe's R1, which is really easy to punish. But with the looks of this, I'm going easy on him. And right there is the counter backstab. I'm sorry, dude. If you're going to do it that many times, I'm going to have to do it eventually. And I don't bow, because that didn't make any sense to me right then. It seemed really strange. And he's got a funny name though, I'll give him that. So another cool thing about hosting is you get back-to-back duels like this. There's no load screens, the people come for the fight. This looks like another spellcaster. Oh, it's a buff user. So there's the crystal magic weapon, there's the blossom, and an eagle shield. That's an interesting choice. We'll soon see how this one works out. So he's using a buff, and I'm going to have to use my spacing to make sure that he doesn't trim me. You'll notice I have my shield up regardless of the distance. The only time I drop my shield is if I'm attacking. The reason I do this is the phantom range on this game is insane. And I've been punished as a weaker player than I am right now because I did not have my shield up. So any new players that are getting caught off by buffs, keep your shield up regardless. It's a lifesaver. It really is. It's like Ninja Gaiden 2 on Master Ninja mode. Block all the time. Doesn't matter what you're doing, hold block. It will save your life. But one thing I got into the habit against this guy is you'll notice he's rolling and attacking with the katana because it's one of the best attacks that it does. And not a lot of people can parry it unless they're very good. So what I'm doing is I get some space from this guy. It might not be in this fight, but I try and almost force him to do the move as I hit him with the heavy attack on the scythe right there, and somebody else invades, and hopefully he's not going to be a dick. We'll soon find out. So that guy goes for the kick because I've got my shield up. His buff has worn out, and you'll notice he's now switched to a Moonlight Greatsword, I believe, because he's only using the katana for the buff. And oh, really? Wow, that was laggy, but that's how it works. So I'm in red tier stone range, and he knows it, so I'm going to go for the dead angle with the scythe, but I've got to be really careful because we were already lagging in this. Oh, he's going to get me again. Oh, you could see it coming, couldn't you? Good fight, man, and this looks like it could be the rematch. Yep, it's the rematch. He just tried to do a blossom too quickly after buffing, so he got the Darth Vader shrug. And watch, this might be the fight where I go for the parry, but I don't quite hit it, because I do not know the parry timing on the rolling katana attack. I will learn it though, and I'll start punishing anybody that does it. Because the cool thing about learning the parry timings is it makes you change the way you play. Because I noticed that I wasn't doing heavy attacks enough, and I don't generally do them all that often with the Chaos Blade because they're very slow and they're not that effective. And I also noticed I wasn't two-handing a lot, and I'm trying to work those things into my game to make me a little bit more unpredictable. Because one thing I was doing a lot is the run attack, and the run attack on the katana is really good and really threatening against newer players, but experienced players are going to parry you. They're going to get that timing down and they're going to punish it, so you need to try to be as diverse as you can be, as I'm completely spacing him here for the buff and just waiting for the timeout. And there it goes, and like practiced crescendo, he switches back to the Moonlight Greatsword. He two-hands, and I get a couple of quick hits there. Did you notice that I'm stunning him? He is wearing a piece of... Oh my god, stun locked like a boss. Ouch, that shit hurts so bad. But the question is, how do you recover when you're on low life? Can you keep your composure? Can you beat them as I run in and get a combustion on him? That was a close fight because he was doing the running R1, which would have destroyed me if it had hit. But good fight, dude. Nice build. Kind of very similar to a lot of people's builds when it comes to the sorcerer class, but I don't mind it because I haven't fought it too often. But there is my obligatory heals. There's the cross feet. That's an interesting word. There's the cross fade, and this is somebody role playing with the looks of it as a Silver Knight. And this is an embarrassing fight for me because I do not know how to fight spear users. I go for a parry which is really poorly timed. I think I was way too soon on that. I think I needed to be earlier. Way too late, sorry, it's better English. And one thing I could do against this guy, which I noticed just then, is I could poise through his attacks and spam combustion. The only problem is I don't want to do that because it's cheap, and I try to, if I can, avoid being an absolute bitch in PvP because there's far too many people like that. So this guy invades again, and I change my shield to something stronger, and he cheap hits me, which I find really strange because I sent him a message saying good game after that last fight, and he sent me one back only to invade and then cheap shot me when I'm on a menu. So I'm going to do what I said I wasn't going to do, and it destroys him because I just poise through the hits and I spam combustion, and it's cheap, but it annihilates him. And I'm not too sure if this guy's good or bad because all he's doing is two-handing the spear and spamming the R1 because spears are really powerful for doing exactly that. It's not clean, it's not fun, it's just effective. And More experienced players are undoubtedly going to comment on this video, and chances are some of it won't be the most flattering, because I've had a couple of people, you know, say that I'm not very good, and I'm new, so what do you say to those kind of comments? At the end of the day, I don't care that people don't think I'm good at the game, because it's not what I do it for. But when they say that I'm bad and then they put their name afterwards like they're some kind of fucking royalty, I'm sorry, but that's just pretension at its finest, that is. But anyhow, I send him a message. As you can see, he's already sent me a GG message, so I don't know what was up with that guy. Maybe he's having a bad day, but you'll notice this guy is a good spear user. So he spaces me like a champion. He's using the standard roll, which I absolutely love, because it means that he's not using the ring that everybody uses, myself included. And all he does is space me really well and hit me with this weapon. And I really didn't know at the time how to fight this kind of build, because he's got good poise, so I can't poise crush him. I've got two weapons that are good on their own, but against a spear, I'm always going to take damage when I try and, you know, trade with it. I could have probably tried to damage, you know, DPS race with it, but I don't think I would have won, because the guy just seemed to know what he was doing with this kind of weapon. So I pull out the pyromancy, he gets away from it, and just outplayed me, completely outplayed. And you need people like this to come on every so often. I mean, look at that. He knew exactly what I was going for. He stepped backwards, which has so little frames in it, yet it still missed. And then he came back with a two-handed. Like, these people will make you better at the game. And that's why you should always, you know, never see this as something bad. See this as a learning experience, because when somebody comes along and shows you a style that you don't have yourself and it completely destroys you like this one is, it makes you think, how do I beat that in future? What do I do to somehow counter that kind of style? And this is Angel Creator again, using one of his other roleplay builds. And if anybody can't see, it is a full iron golem with the golem axe and a fat roll. So props to this guy. He's so good, man. I could have fought this dude all day, and if it wasn't for the fact that it got to about 5 o'clock in the morning, I probably would have. But you'll notice, man, he's not only does he have really heavy poise, but he's also stacking the wolf ring. So hopefully he'll leave a message on a comment on this video telling us why he chose to do that, aside from, you know, just trying to stun lock. I'm not too sure what his choices were, but he isn't using a shield. He's just balling it. Look at him. Look at him go. This was such a funny fight. And it's times like this when I wish I could have, you know, just swapped out my gear and put something equally ridiculous on. But when I'm playing this game, I go far too into the, you know, the zone, and it just becomes all about trying to succeed, trying to win. Not so much so that I'm gonna, you know, carry 21 casts of Wrath of God and just spam, but ooh, damn! No, I waited too long because of the fucking summon sign distracted me. That was a pretty clutch blind parry, but... And I pulled the scythe out because if he's not shielding, I'm not going to shield, and it catches me there with a lovely, well-timed, I think it's a running attack. He does the roll attack, I do a couple of pirouettes, throw the fireball, get a nice clean 677 damage. Goodness me, he must be weak against fire. He charges the R2. He knew that the attack was coming after it. He tried to parry, but I must have dead-angled him. That guy is amazing, and he's back again in his Dark Wraith build. If you're wondering why these aren't in sequence, he was Dark Wraith for most of the night for me, and then he changed. And look at that, this could be our first ever fight, this. Because you'll notice in a couple of our encounters he uses the Darkwood Grain Ring, and I think he's using it because, as you can see, the roll he's using, while it is honourable, it is nowhere near as powerful as the Darkwood Grain Ring. You do not get half the iframes. And right there, he knew the attack was coming. He went for the Dark Hand parry, but it didn't quite land. So I'm kind of spacing him because Dark Moonblade is powerful on every weapon. He's trying to close the distance with roll attacks. I'm trying to get him with, you know, some spaced scythe slashes. It's a little bit of back and forth. I'm getting a lot better at avoiding buffs, which is cool, because I used to just panic and die, which is really helpful. You'll notice Sassy Dr. Ball MD has come in again. He went from being... Oh, this is our first fight, because he interrupts us, yeah. After this fight, I sent him a message saying, you could have at least let us fight, dude. Because we were having a good old duel, and then this dude turned up. And Angel goes straight in to try and kill him so he can continue to fight, which is a really nice move, but I think he gets caught by magic or something. And there's his Wrath. And yeah, look, he gets caught as he Wrath. So I come up, and this is not where I want to be fighting, because I can't do anything against a spellcaster who has, you know, direct hit on me, because it's just a rough place to be. And I don't think this guy knows too much about the sorceries, because I think he just fired a fucking soul arrow then, like a great magic soul arrow, which is never going to do as much damage as the soul masses that he's using. I mean, look at it, it might still hurt, but I don't know. I know there's a couple people commenting on my PvP videos telling me the power of sorcerers. Is it really worth using that spell, or is this guy just kinda dumb / new? No offense to you, bro, if you're listening. Because, like, I don't even think that's a Crystal Soul Mass. That's the standard Soul Mass, so maybe he's out of castings and he's just doing anything. Really strange, but he is trying to lure me into the mob of the firebombers, and I'm trying to lure him back down here for a fight, but he keeps running away. Oh no, he's chasing me. Chasing me with a rapier. Probably could have backed. I'm going for that, but you'll notice, as soon as somebody is a dickhead to me, guys, my rule book is gone. Anybody that was expecting me to... Oh, there we go. Ouch. Wow. Powerful sorceries. But that is the end of the first part of my Burg session. I hope you enjoy a change of scenery, and I will see you in the concluding section. Thanks for watching. You take care now.